100,000 Wehrmacht soldiers have been mobilized. They're going to war under the command of the generals. Men like Infantry General Johannes Blaskowitz, the son of a pastor from East Prussia. His mother died when he was still a baby. He was raised in military academies, the elite establishments of the Prussian aristocracy. Here he's trained for the life of an officer, the toughest education in the entire Reich. In exchange, a penniless young man gains entry to a privileged world. A uniform makes you something superior. Officers are treated with the highest respect. They receive the best service in restaurants, and the best tickets are reserved for them at the theater. In World War I, a formative experience for most Wehrmacht generals, Blaskowitz makes rapid progress. At 33, he's appointed to staff headquarters. But then comes the defeat of 1918 and the Treaty of Versailles, a humiliating blow. The German army is cut to 100,000 men. The generals want only one thing: the return of their former power. Johannes Blaskowitz, now a colonel, is accepted into the new army, but he's given administrative duties. For the time being, there's no hope of career advancement. Unknown to him, the military office in Berlin, an undercover general staff, is already planning rearmament. Karl Dirks, himself a World War II veteran, has written a book arguing that the army leadership wanted massive rearmament.
Diese Wiederaufrüstung war seit 1923 im Schatten der Ruhrbesetzung geplant. Damals konnte man unter dem Vorzeichen patriotische Aufgabe die Wiederbewaffnung planen. Außerdem war von Seeckt mit Hilfe des Notstandsparagraphen 48 die vollziehende Gewalt übertragen. Er brauchte jetzt niemanden mehr fragen, ob er das planen durfte oder nicht.
Hans von Seeckt, head of the army, is the driving force behind rearmament. It must be kept secret, for the planning alone is a violation of the peace treaty. In reality, Seeckt is planning for war.
Was will der Generalstab im Krisenfall zur Verfügung haben? Dazu werden die nötigen Divisionen und ihre Ausrüstung geplant. Und dann wird das im Detail verfeinert, sodass man auf Knopfdruck zur Durchführung übergehen kann. Das war der Zweck dieses Planes, also eigentlich eine Grundlage für die notwendigen Beschaffungen, die notwendigen Gelder, das notwendige Personal. Man kam auf insgesamt einen Bedarf von 3,75 Millionen Köpfen.
When Hitler comes to power in 1933, plans for the deployment of the Wehrmacht are ready. Karl Dirks has shown that the Wehrmacht of 102 divisions, with which Hitler begins World War II, corresponds exactly to the blueprint of the generals. Everything is ready for Hitler. Rearmament now moves ahead at top speed. The effects can be felt in everyday life.
Mit einmal ging alles in Uniform. Innerhalb von 8 Monaten war alles. Also da waren Leute, Beamte, die bei der Behörde beschäftigt waren und waren Zivilbeamte. Und bei uns am Dommernsweg wohnte auch einer, der grüßte immer zu uns rauf. Wir wohnten damals in der 3. Etage in der Fruchtallee. Und jedes Mal, wenn wir am Fenster saßen, nahm er seinen Hut und grüßte. Und 4 Wochen später, da kam er in Uniform mit Säbel. Und da machte er so. Und da habe ich, guck an, Herr Sohn, ich will den Namen nicht nennen, der ist schon in Uniform. Da sagte mein Vater, jetzt wird auch der Briefträger bald ein Schwert haben.
Ich schwöre bei Gott diesen heiligen Eid.
Ich schwöre bei Gott diesen heiligen Eid.
Dass ich dem Führer des deutschen Volkes und Reiches, Adolf Hitler, jederzeit bereit sein will,
für diesen Eid mein Leben einzusetzen.
Jederzeit für diesen Eid mein Leben einzusetzen.
das ging mir zu Herzen, das war meine feste Überzeugung.
From 1934 on, millions of manipulated young men had to swear allegiance directly to Hitler, a man who is planning a war of conquest. The idea came from the Wehrmacht leadership itself. Some of the generals hoped that by this overt act of loyalty, they will preserve the military's independence. They're wrong. The Minister of War, Werner von Blomberg, is the first to suffer the consequences. In 1938, Blomberg is dismissed for marrying a former prostitute. Hitler himself was best man at the wedding. He feels he's been deceived. He exploits the situation for his next move. There's only one man he can trust to take charge of the Wehrmacht: himself. General Wilhelm Keitel, in charge of the newly created OKW, the Armed Forces High Command, reports directly to Hitler. Franz Halder becomes Chief of Staff of the Army High Command. The two organizations become permanent rivals, ideal conditions for Hitler's intrigues. Panzer General Wilhelm Ritter von Thoma knows the Army High Command well. In November 1942, he's captured by General Montgomery in North Africa and greeted with a handshake. The British are experts in dealing with high-ranking prisoners. First, they question them and keep them in basic accommodation, the same treatment given to an ordinary soldier. After they've suffered these disagreeable conditions for a while, they're taken to the more salubrious surroundings of Trent Park. The idea is they'll feel comfortable here and converse freely with one another, not suspecting their every word is recorded by the microphones of the British Secret Service. It works. Thomas speaks quite openly about the Army's leadership.
I tell you, don't expect anything from the general staff. 99% of them are completely spineless. They have always been servile. They were never commanders. They were more like assistants. Which is why most of them have no backbone. It's their upbringing, of course. You can't expect anything else.
Hitler is mistrustful of his generals too, since he hasn't got them completely under his control. But he knows how to get his way. The generals are no match for him. Colonel Karl-Heinz Frieser is a military historian in today's German army.
Im Endeffekt kam es zu einem Modus vivendi, zu einer unheiligen Allianz. Beide brauchten einander. Hitler brauchte diese reaktionäre Militärkaste, um seine Kriege zu führen. Und für die Generale war Hitler derjenige, der nicht nur neue Divisionen aufstellte, sondern damit neue Stellen, neue Dienstposten als Divisionskommandeure schuf.
Like Hitler, the generals want to win back what the Germans lost in the First World War. But Hitler wants more. He wants to enslave the Slav peoples and to create Lebensraum, living space, in the East. Poland will become the first victim.
Es gab ja nur negative Meinungen über Polen. Polnische Wirtschaft und dreckig und unmodern und hässlich. Es war alle modisch. Was unmodisch war, war polnisch. Und wenn was dreckig war, das war auch polnisch.
Polen wurde als der ganz böse Feind hingestellt. Und das sollte ungefähr so 2-3 Wochen dauern und dann sei der Krieg vorbei. In dem Glauben hat man so uns gelassen.
Old prejudice and new belligerency fanned the flames against Poland.